Today I have with me my Kenmore Intuition. No, not my Intuition, I'm sorry. My Kenmore Elite. This is the replacement to my Intuition. My Intuition, I had the sapphire green colored model, and it was a really great vacuum. It had the direct drive. It was more Panasonic than Kenmore. Even though this is also made by Panasonic, it has the OptiFlow technology, but they don't call it that on this machine. The Kenmore, they called it, I don't remember exactly what they called it. Let me check. So, this is the original box to my Kenmore Intuition. It says it's the most powerful Kenmore motor with 20% more air power. It's the direct drive beltless system and dirt sensor, but it had like a bag chamber flow sort of advertisement too. I liked the design of this machine better. It had like a heads-up display sort of thing there. The controls, the handle was nicer built. The whole machine felt nicer, and it had a ratcheting style height adjuster. So that machine ended up breaking. This right over here on the wands, there's a little rivet that holds the this plastic coupling thingy onto the machine. And on the Intuition, the wand settled into a holder with the hose that connected to the floor. And the hose was always connected to the wand, and then it went right into the bag. So when you wanted to go and vacuum with the hose, the wand came off too, so you'd actually have to detach the wand, whereas they bypassed that and just made it so the hose connects to that plastic piece here. I've seen a video of somebody showing how to vacuum on like a shag pile, because there is a suction release valve on this that opens and closes, but when you put this on this right here, it can't be open like that. It has to be pulled back, otherwise it won't fit. Get out of that, kitty! She is eating the crackers that I have laid out. You aren't allowed to have any, honey. Go on. Go on, I don't want you choking on anything. Eating too much salt. Anyway, I have oatmeal, and then she goes right back to it. Go on. Go on. I know. Over there. Go on. Here. Okay, so, she must be hungry. Just a sec. I have saltine crackers. They're cat hair from when we brushed them. I just got done brushing the boy. That's the girl. That's down, pretty sticky. I mean, not much is moving. Then I have rolled oats, and then I have some under the couch so we can use the air-driven tool, because the one thing that I credit Kenmore doing really well is their turbine tools, the way that they design them. This is the exact same tool that was on that Elite, or I mean the Intuition. The same design and everything. And it works really well. The one thing, though, they made this a gloss, whereas the Intuition had a satin style. It's the same basic design, though. The Crevice Tool is the same. The upholstery tool is the same. The hose on the Elite is short and stubby. And when you pull it, it has to twist, too. When you turn the machine on, like, it probably has like a 4-foot hose. When you turn the machine on, though, the hose just shrinks right up, and it's practically useless. And because it's mounted so high on the back of the machine, it just tips right over. It has a lot of suction, it has a lot of airflow, and it does have a suction release right there on the back of the vacuum. Ooh, that's hairy. I'm going to have to take that off of there and do something with it. Anyway. You have a carry handle, which also doubles as your cord wrap. And I'm just very disappointed with the hose on this machine. I really wish I could have my intuition back so much, but I'm not paying for a used one. To me, that's just not worth it. Mine was very well taken care of. When you recline the handle, there were 2 rear wheels mounted, and it tilted the machine up, so there was like an in-between adjustment on top of the pedal adjustment up here with a little window to tell you how high and low. It also had a big giant dirt sensor here that was green and red. This one's just blue. It's off when it's clean. It turns on when it's dirty. Half the time I don't even think it works. But Consumer Reports rates this as the, and she's back again. Consumer Reports rates this as the top performing bagged machine, which is the reason why I'm doing a review on this. And I'm hoping to eventually do a... Drop that. Here. Come on. I know. I'm hoping to do a versus. This against the Dyson, maybe against the Shark 2. Because I know that even though a lot of you who are watching this probably aren't really looking to purchase this machine, maybe some of you are, but if you do watch the videos on my channel, a lot of the time they're just me showing my vacuums. Which, the reason why I go a little bit into detail, more informative, rather than just going right on with the vacuuming thing, is because a lot of the people, though, watching this video are also looking to see how I personally feel about owning the machine, too. Believe it or not, there's a lot of people out there that still want to stick with a bagged machine. This machine is a really great choice. I've always used cloth bags in this, and in turn, there is no dust on the inside of this vacuum. Not a single piece. This is that bag flow chamber I was talking about. It has air vents that open up, so there isn't one centralized suction area. There's ability for the air to flow around the bag, which is a Panasonic design, which on Panasonic machines, it's called the OptiFlow. My dad took this last year and decided to vacuum with it to, he took 3 of my vacuums. One of them, this one is the first one he took. It got plugged up with pine needles because the bag filled, and he never cleaned it out. So there's a couple pine needles in the motor right now. Anyhow, you have your bag indicator up here. I think it might be blue. Don't really remember. I don't use it that often. And you also have your belt reset. So pretty much everything that was on the Intuition carried over to this. When I took this under its 1-year warranty through Sears, they told me that it wasn't repairable, which to me, they should have just given me a new wand. But at the time, I was like, you know, okay, yeah, I'll take the new Elite, because I thought it was neat looking. It still is, but in comparison, I would so much rather have my Intuition back. But ideally, it's the same motor on the inside of this machine. The brush roll is the same design. It's also a direct drive. You can buy the cheaper version of this machine, which would be the blue accents instead of the black. And it does not have the front LED headlights like this one does up here. It just has a light right there. So the Intuition, it had a LED up here that projected down on the floor, which was really nice, and it cleaned better edge to edge than this one did. It was more of a, like I said, it was more designed like a Panasonic. It looked more like a Panasonic. It was built better. This is still a very heavy, well-built machine, but I really liked my Panasonic resembling machine better. So all in all, it's a great vacuum. It's not going to cause you a lot of trouble. You're not going to have to put a lot of maintenance into this machine, and it's probably the most expensive bagged vacuum you can go to the store and buy right now. If you were to go and look for another bagged machine, Eureka maybe has 2. Bissell has practically none. They have their Power Groom, which I think they make in a bagged, and they also have their Power Force, which is in a bagged machine. And then Hoover has probably the most bagged machines, and they're mostly the wind tunnels. This machine I think is like $400. You can find it on sale sometimes, but other than that, it's probably the most expensive vacuum you can go to the store and buy that's bagged right now. So otherwise you'd have to go with like a Miele, and you can't go into the store and get one of those. You'd have to find a vacuum store. And this outperforms it. This is Consumer Reports #1 rated bagless canister upright stick against Kirby, against all of them. But you have to remember, you know, they're also basing it off of convenience and how easy it is to use and noise level and stuff like that. So you never know. You should still consider that they do look at the pet hair pickup, the deep down cleaning, the larger particles. It does have like these grooves in the front of the vacuum for the bigger particles as well. But you have to remember, you know, they're not really looking at like a side-by-side comparison that a consumer would be looking at. They're looking at everything. So who knows? If you're just looking for something that does really well on pickup, maybe it really was more of a better comparison with something else. So I'm going to start out. It has a dual function switch, suction and carpet. So that last bit that I was trying to show you with the turbo tool was how hard it is to get the hose to stretch. It does not want to stretch. It wants to pull the vacuum. Now, that's with any tool. It's with the turbo tool. It's with the crevice tool especially. I mean, the turbo tool and the crevice tool, they restrict a lot of the airflow, which makes it harder. You can open up, like I said, that suction release, and it will help out a little bit, but it still has a lot of airflow. And it may have looked like it was struggling on the pet hair, but I ground that pet hair in. It's an extremely stringy type pet hair. So it's constantly grabbing onto everything. It's like Velcro. It's not like a short needly type of pet hair. So if you have any questions, just ask me, let me know, and I will try and get back to them as soon as I can.